Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you another reflection. And we are actually moving on a little bit from the forgiveness and forgiving kind of a theme to sort of the larger picture of what forgiveness and forgiving is all about. And we're headed into a little bit of a smaller or shorter series on reconciliation, because that is kind of the logical kind of end point of forgiveness and forgiving. But really what I want to focus on this morning is just something very simple. And Jesus actually, when he was asked, what is the greatest commandment? Jesus didn't say, that you need to pray 4 times a day, or that you need to do this, you need to do that. What he said was, the greatest commandment is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. These are the 2 greatest commandments. The law and the prophets, all the law and the prophets hang on these 2 things. Now, what I think is interesting as I've reflected on this saying of Jesus, which is Jesus is quoting Deuteronomy 6:5, something earlier in the Old Testament. But what's interesting about this is that when we focus on loving well, if we make loving people and loving God the very center, the bullseye, the target, the aim, the focus, the vision of what life is about. Loving our families, loving the Lord, loving our neighbor, loving the Lord, loving other church members, loving our bosses, loving our employees, loving well. When we make that the main focus of what we get up in the morning to do and to grow in, what ends up happening is that then the Lord can get to all of that other stuff that all the other commands would be trying to get at, but ineffectively getting at. So let me just give you an example. So God wants to actually make you a merciful person. So he says, love well. And so as you and I learn how to love well, we run up against this lack of mercy within ourselves. And then we call out to the Lord, Lord, I can't love well without you helping me and without me experiencing your mercy, and so that I can give your mercy. And so loving well actually causes us to enter into the back door of mercy. Perhaps another thing is, Lord, I need to learn patience toward X, Y, or Z person. And instead of saying, I just need to learn patience, just say, Lord, I want to love well. And as you love well, as you seek to love well, then you realize that in certain situations with certain people, then you don't have the patience you need. You have to look up to the Lord. You see how patient he has been with you, and you begin to grow in patience. And what I think is beautiful is that when the Lord calls us to live a life of love, he is actually getting at all that's wrong with us and moving us into all that's right for us. And that's what I want to ask you to reflect on, is that aiming at not the lack of one thing or another, or I don't want to be impatient, or I don't want to be unmerciful, or those different things. Aiming at those things and fixing those things is not the solution. Aiming at love and then cooperating with the Lord of love to receive love and to give love from him is the key to a happy life, to a maturing life, to growth, to relational depth. All those things come in loving well. Loving well is the point. That's what I'd like for us to think about today. Thanks so much for joining me. God bless you.